Greetings gamers everywhere, I'm Swippy92 and this is an impression of a new game that has yet to be released. As you can see by the title, this is a playtest, a alpha playtest of Gods, Death and Reapers. And in this video I'm gonna go through what the game is, what you might expect from it, and my general thoughts on it. But we're gonna start with what the game actually is. What kind of genre is this? This game is an extraction ARPG, and that's basically it. It does have some PvP elements and PvE, of course, but we're gonna go in that a little later. But let's start with what the general is. It's go in, get loot, get out, and of course survive everything. Gotta survive, or you're not gonna get any loot. Sorry. As an ARPG, Gods, Death and Reapers, or GDR, plays much like Diablo 4 and Path of Exile 2. And I would argue it's more like Path of Exile 2 because you can move and shoot at the same time, with, for example, the staff and the javelin weapons. Now, we're gonna go through the different aspects of the game here, so let's get to it first with the story. Now, the story is very simple and honestly not fully understood, at least not by me. Basically, you die, you become a Reaper for death, and then your goal after that, I'm not honestly 100% sure. That doesn't really matter, does it? It's the gameplay and the loop that matters. So let's talk about that. Through the portal, kill enemies, earn XP to level up, well, XP to level up in the game, in the run, find loot by killing enemies or opening chests, and find materials for crafting and upgrading your base. Oh, and do it within the allotted time limit, or else you're probably dead, or at least you lose. Now, that is the general gist of the game. Now, gameplay wise, there isn't much to it than that, but it does play very well. And there's also one other thing, of course, that I did previously mention a little bit. The map you're running through also has other players running around. But don't worry, if you don't like PvP, the PvE mode is the first mode, with the PvPvE mode being unlocked when you upgrade the portal to level 2. Though there is that small detail of loot having a bigger chance of being a higher rarity when playing in the unstable realms, or the PvPvE realm. Now, the run that I did in that PvP mode wasn't too different from the PvE. Better loot, definitely, but I think I only ran into one player, maybe two. I did read in the Steam discussions there are supposed to be like 7 other additional players, but I don't know if that depends on how you pair up, because when you search for a PvE or a PvPvE mode, you are paired with other players. No matter which mode you play, you have other players running around. Now, this will limit the loot from materials found on the ground and chests, because I don't think they respawn. Enemies do, however, respawn at the regular intervals, and as they respawn at these intervals, they also get stronger. You go back to your base if you die, but oh, and you lose the loot, of course, but not the loot that you placed in your like safety bag or whatever it's called. I can't remember. Any loot placed in the safety bag, it will be saved even if you die, but that bag portion is very small, at least in the alpha here. Now, to get out, you activate a special altar where you either pay 1500 gold. Another altar you can activate is one that will tasks you with killing a few enemies in a certain amount of time, and after you kill them, the altar will start activating and you will be teleported back to your base. But you can get attacked by other players while activating these altars, but only one of you can extract with it. So even in the PvE mode where you can't kill each other, only one of you can extract from it. So keep that in mind. Now, after a run, you might want to spend some of that loot, or materials I guess I should say, because when you return to the base, you can craft items, sell items you found, build new sections and stations in your base, or upgrading existing stations. And this is done by using the materials you found during a run. Gold is also used for this, so gold is valuable, believe me. The only reason I think that I managed to build so much is because I got a lot of gold in the playtest for just being in the playtest, I believe it. I'm guessing it was because of that. Now, the base is pretty basic, but I like that I don't have to run all over the base, because you can just bring up a menu and there you can interact with pretty much everything you've built. I'm not sure you can build new sections from this menu, but you can definitely build new crafting stations, for example. But you will need to know where they are to be able to actually click on them. I think they should highlight this a little bit better in the future, because when you open up the menu, I had several different stations at the bottom there, but I did not have the smithy that I later built, or whatever it was that I built. That one did not come up, and that one you use quite regularly because you can salvage items there, and it's also the station where you can equip your weapons with new abilities. I'm gonna get into that later on. There is a limited skill tree that I hope will get expanded in the future. You can unlock a mount through this, which was very surprising but welcome, because the map is fairly big actually, and considering the movement speed your character has, it takes a while to go through it. Now, the combat in this game is much like any other action RPG, like Diablo 4, Path of Exile, Lost Epoch, or any other action RPG that comes to mind. Now, I would say that it's, as I said earlier, that it's more like PvE 2, I guess, because you can, with the ranged weapon like the staff and the javelin, you can actually move at the same time as you're attacking, which is really good. I like this. Now, in this alpha, we had 4 different weapons that we could choose from. The Warhammer, Javelin and Shield, Dual Wielding, and the Staff. Now, all of these weapons have different abilities. You can use special items that you find during a run to choose from 3 different abilities, or you can also use the Reaper-based ones. The Reaper ones do not require any kind of currency or items to be used. They are the basic abilities, you can say. They are just there. If you don't have any item in the weapon, those are the abilities that you get. And I like these weapons. I like them all overall. I do find the dual wielding to be the most boring one, I guess, but I still had fun using it. This could also be down to the abilities that I chose for it. I did choose the abilities that I was using, and I was like, oh, this one sounds interesting, this one sounds interesting, and I chose them. And then I went on my run. Now, Javelin was strong, to the point of being a bit OP, I would say. Especially for the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, it's a ranged weapon. Though the heavier spear throwing skill, basically a right click ability, it had a weird hitbox. Sometimes it would miss where I could swear it was gonna hit. I don't know if my targeting was off or whatever it was, but it was quite difficult to hit enemies at times, especially when moving at the same time, or when the enemy was moving at the same time. something I do feel that they really nailed, especially at least at the start of a run, was that the enemies felt fair to fight. They didn't feel overpowered or underpowered. Though you guess you could argue that you have quite a bit of HP. And at higher levels, when you were a higher level, that is, and the enemy had respawned maybe 2 or 3 times, even at that point, it could become quite easy actually. This was of course depending on your skills and what weapon you're using and what kind of quality your weapons were. The javelin I was using was of epic rarity or purple rarity, so quite strong actually. Now I do hope that they will implement some kind of difficulty system where you can choose your difficulty, but that could impact the matchmaking, I guess. So that's a tricky one. Now, enemies, as I said, do get stronger and respawn at regular intervals. So you will never run out of enemies to kill, I would say, unless all the players on the map are really itching for bloodbaths, I guess. But you also have the timer to keep track of, so you can't exactly go on a killing spree and kill everything. Now, the maps and caves and all of that also, well, they do work well with the weapons you have. It's open and nothing felt like the weapons didn't feel like, oh, they're underpowered in these specific circumstances. But no, they worked every time. And I'd say caves because there were dungeons / caves to explore and loot. Basically, you find the keys and then you unlock the specified dungeon that the key is for. And then you go in, you loot, and get out. They weren't dangerous, I would say. There was one cave which had some kind of frost giant that were really pounding me at one time. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that. But except for that one, it was almost a bit disappointing, actually. The loot too in those dungeons felt like those could have been a bit more. There are also these big bosses that have special requirements for you, or all players I guess, on the map to do before you can challenge them. Basically break 3 seals or something, I think I read on one of them. I did break 1 seal at one point, but I couldn't find the other 2. No idea where they were. So I never did fight any one of those big bosses, unfortunately. I have no idea what they look like or anything, so that's a bummer. Now, as I've already mentioned, weapon skills can be changed with special looted items, and I really like that. It makes multiple builds more easy to do. These items aren't rare. Now, I do wonder if they will come in different rarities to make the abilities more strong, perhaps, but nothing that I saw now speaks to that. And you also have armor pieces, and each armor piece, like gloves and body armor and helmet, they do give different kind of passive bonuses. They all items, or at least green and above items, are parts of sets. So if you equip 2 of the same set, you will get some kind of bonus, like HP regeneration when you're below this amount of health, or whatever. Now, boots also are also parts of this set, but boots also give you your E button ability, which can be a dash of some sort, or as I found out, also a healing circle buff, which was really nice. I do like that they changed that up a little bit with that. You also have an ultimate, which is tied to the R button. This one is tied to an item in your that you can equip, and you can equip different ones, of course. I used 3 different ones. Honestly, the meteor thing felt underpowered. It's a big-ass meteor, but it didn't do a lot of damage, I think. But everything is pretty standard, really, but it all goes very well, I think. It all works well with each other, and I had fun playing this. As I finished a run and I quit the game, I was like, oh, I want to play it again. I want to play it again. I felt like a little while later. I'm looking very much forward to seeing more items in these categories. More armor sets, bow and arrow for sure, along with other weapons. More maps, of course. There were two maps in this one. Valheim and Midgard, I want to say it was. The biomes did differ somewhat between the two, but not in a whole lot that made you go wow. But it differed enough at least. But I'm looking forward to seeing more of that, like castles, villages, caves. I guess it would be caves with additional cave dungeons that you can go into if you have the key. The game does not have a release date as of yet, except for 2026, so I'm guessing this is gonna be a early access title when it launches, if it does launch 2026. This playtest was called Alpha 5, so I'm guessing it's still quite early, though I will say that I did not encounter any bugs or issues that I noticed. I have no idea what other players experienced, of course, or how many players were on the servers, which could impact things as well. But I had no issues personally, so that's a really good thing. Now, as I mentioned, this is a PvE or PvPvE action RPG, but there will be a substantial story according to the Steam page, a single player story, that is. I have no idea how they're gonna do that one. I'm guessing you're gonna go into a realm solo, maybe? So, no other players. And there's also a co-op coming to the game, although it does look like the co-op mode won't be available at release. That will maybe come later on, which again tells me that this will probably be a early access title. I'm looking very much forward to what this game has in store for us all, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna say for now. I've been Swippy92, have a great life, and I hope to see you in future videos. What do you think of the game you've been watching right now, or have you maybe been in the playtest yourself? Put your thoughts down in the comments. Bye bye.